Welcome, fellow storytellers. In this tutorial, I am taking you to a private garden, telling you a story that centers around a plant. Let's dive right into the adventures of Tom and his friends. At the time of year when the sun shines gently and the heavy rains have stopped, the little plant grew in a pot on a rooftop. At first, it felt a little lonely all by itself. But one day, when the plant had grown a little, a visitor came. "Hello," the visitor said. "I am Fernando, the goat. Can I stay in your shade a while?" "Sure," the little plant signaled by dipping one of its leaves. "Lovely," Fernando said, and stayed for the whole day. "I'll be back in a week," he promised when the sun was setting. "Looking forward already," replied the plant, dipping 2 leaves for emphasis. As promised, Fernando came back a week later. "My, you have grown," marveled Fernando when he saw the plant again. "Yes, I kind of like it here," Leaf winked the plant. "What's your name, by the way?" Fernando asked. The plant stretched one leaf horizontally, meaning no idea. "Well, you've got to have one. How about Tom?" A slight ripple went through the plant. "Yes." Again, Fernando stayed a whole day and left at sundown. "See ya in 7 days." A leaf wave was the answer. A week went by and both friends were looking forward to see each other again. "Mama, what did you eat?" were Fernando's first words when he saw his friend Tom again. This time, all the leaves dipped to welcome Fernando. "Let me make a stone step so I can get closer to your top," Fernando said. And after a while, with a lot of huffing and puffing, he managed a little stone heap. Nice view from higher up." Fernando looked all around. "I wonder," and with a mighty leap, he jumped on one of Tom's strong arms. "Now this is cool." Fernando had a great view all around and enjoyed the sunshine. "And the best thing is," Fernando said, looking up, "you've grown flowers." Tom replied, shaking the yellow blossoms gently at his friend. "Don't go anywhere, Tom," Fernando cried as the sun was setting. "I'll be back." A week later, Fernando couldn't believe his eyes. Tom had grown again, and the plant father had given him extra support for the long stems. "How high do you plan to grow, Tom?" Fernando shouted up to him. But this time Fernando had come prepared. Step by step by step by step, Fernando climbed up the ladder until he reached one of Tom's stems. "Wow, I like it up here. And look at all your flowers." Fernando could sense how happy Tom was. Tom and Fernando spent another lovely day together in the sunshine. Before Fernando left this time, he visited the other plants who lived on the rooftop. He said hello to the bok choy, had a walk around the cabbage, greeted the coconut, He wasn't sure what this plant was. The pineapple let him climb up and gave him a push all the way to the rooftop wall. Wonderful, Fernando thought. One day I want to explore those hills. With these words, he hopped off, shouting, "See ya, Tom," and disappeared. At the rate that you are growing, I have to find new ways to get to our conversation level, Tom, were Fernando's first words the next week as he landed with a jet plane. Whew, that was a wild ride, and I brought a friend. This is Marlon. Hi Marlon, come on up. Tom winked with his leaves. No thanks, I don't like heights, and the flight has been all I can take, Marlon replied. Would love to dig around here though. Digging his snout into the moist soil was something he really liked. Hey, what have we here? Fernando was staring at some green baubles. Grapes? Can't be. They look kind of different. As he climbed higher, Fernando came across a tiny one. Hello, cute one. It's a tomato, Fernando suddenly heard from across the garden. Right. One of the pineapples helped Tom out, who could not quite make himself understood by leave winking. You are truly cute. Fernando had a close look at the tomato to be. Later on, Fernando joined Marlon, who was enjoying himself in the loose leaves and soft soil. Marlon got a bit tired. This day was full of adventures for him, who usually led a very calm life. I think I have a rest in the parsley. Nice shadow, good fragrance. Marlon was happy and Fernando had an idea. Since I came by plane, I can visit some other plants in the garden. Within seconds, he landed at the beans. Hey there, beans! Are you growing up or down? I like to swing here. Fun in another way. Next to the green beans, he found a cucumber. Great shape. Almost like a crescent moon, only greener. Let me show you the urban jungle. Fernando invited Marlon and both had a good look at the lovely vista, while the plane was patiently waiting to take them home. This time Fernando parachuted gently into the carrot leaves, while Marlon got out of his magic Mini. The magic of the Mini went like this. The moment you touched the door handle, your body shrank to the right size to fit in. And so Fernando and Marlon drove the last stretch to their friend Tom. They stopped on the cabbage field. Tom was very happy and leaned down with one of his branches all the way towards the cabbage. Wow, Tom, the tomatoes are changing color. How exciting! Marlon was busy parking the Mini in the shade. Then he buried himself in the soil. Lovely, this is so good for my skin. Later on, he even found a little puddle to play in. Fernando, as always, climbed as high as he could and got the best view across the garden. Hey, look at this, Fernando! Marlon shouted all of a sudden. He had taken a little spin with the Mini on the rooftop and came across this weird shape. Fernando and Marlon had a cautious look but couldn't make head or tails of it. The day together again passed so quickly that Fernando and Marlon had to make treks to get home in time. Driving in Marlon's magic Mini. "A bientôt, Tom!" Fernando shouted. He was learning French. "Hasta la vista, baby, I'll be back," came from Marlon. He was a Schwarzenegger fan. And off they whizzed, already making plans for their next visit to Tom. Whee! Fernando was coming in on his rocket. Wow, this is really difficult to steer. Let me, land here. Fernando managed to land somehow on one of Tom's branches. Marlon, still not keen on flying, stepped out of his magic tractor. "Hey Tom, your tomatoes look delicious." Tom waved one ripe one, meaning, "Would you like to try?" "Sure thing, Tom, thank you." Fernando and Marlon dug in. "This is so good," was all they said, busy munching the juicy treat from their friend. "Ah, I enjoyed that," Marlon sighed. "I need a rest now." They drove over to the coconut and both friends had a good sleep in the warm sand. Later, they went to visit some of the vegetables in the garden. The salad was happy to see them. The curly kale welcomed them, since it was growing all by itself. The tiny strawberry seedlings were rather shy. "Look up there, what's that?" Some beautiful roses showed off their pretty petals, but they gave no reaction to Fernando and Marlon's greeting. "They must be from the rose factory. They never talk, but never mind, they are good looking." And with that, Fernando and Marlon took off, each with their own favorite transportation. The next time Fernando flew in, he got a surprise. "Oh, Marlon!" he shouted. "Tom is gone!" Marlon quickly got out of his magic bus and ran to Fernando. "Oh no, what happened?" They searched deeper into the undergrowth and found a tiny plant. "Tom said," the plant signed to them, "that he has temporarily retired, but will be back." "Well, that is good to hear." Marlon and Fernando were relieved. "And since we are already here, let's have a picnic," Marlon suggested, who always seemed to be hungry. "I brought everything in my bus." And so the two friends settled down in the sunshine and enjoyed their meal under the coconut. Afterwards, they took a walk through the garden to visit other plants. Marlon really liked the beetroots. "The color goes wonderfully with my skin," he snuffled. "Oh, hello, parsley. What lovely curly leaves you have," Fernando complimented, and the herb was tickled green. "I guess the strawberries need a little more time." Fernando and Marlon hopped between the pots with the baby plants, who found it hilarious and giggled. Basil. I love this fragrance." Fernando didn't stay long with Spike the cactus. He is in a prickly mood today. The dancing ladies invited them for a swing. After that, the friends needed a lie down on Mr. Pumpkin, who lent them his warm, smooth belly. Half an hour later, and refreshed, they met Martha the okra. What an unusual plant that was! Look, our pineapple friends have another baby! Fernando and Marlon climbed very gently to not disturb the little fruit, but also to stay away from the sharp edges. And with this, the story of Fernando, Marlon and Tom comes to an end. Fernando and Marlon step on the bus. You do remember that you shrink to the right size the moment you touch the door handle. And off they drove to explore new gardens and have new adventures. Of course, they will come back to visit Tom and his other garden friends.